Yo, boys, back with another video. Today we're back with another one. We're back with the solo shuffle. Guess what? I had a mage just before this game AFK'd in my lobby. He sat there on my team and he got mad. So, oh my god, I texted the nicest words possible in shape or form. Same thing with this game. Solo shuffle brings out the demon. If I gotta get banned for a week or two, guess what? I have it all to count. Don't worry about it. I'm taking one for the team. And this warrior took one for the team today. And he took one a little bit harder than everybody else, if you know what I'm saying. So here, I'm healing this guy, and I'm like, alright, well, I need to Verdiant into my big heals, and then you're going to get a big, just going to do a lot of healing. Unfortunately, as you can see, my DPS have yet to click a ability. The warriors apparently clicked his burst and hasn't hit a single target yet. So this guy actually kicks me. This guy is 300 CR, and we're playing. The problem with the healing is these guys are 2500 CR, and healers don't get the benefit of the MMR. So let's say you're 2200 and you're facing a team that and everyone else is 2550 or 2600. You don't get the MMR benefit of facing people that are 2550. That's a big problem because I should have gained off this 4-2. I should have gained 100 rating easy. It depends on the other healer's rating. Since the healer that I was facing had super low rating and like he had a super low rating, I didn't actually gain as much rating as I was supposed to for facing the people that I was facing. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I still gained 60 ratings. Trust me, I'm so used to gaining 20s and stuff. Because once your MMR flats out with your rating, you're not able to gain. So here I tell this guy to use the CDs. Instead, he just like runs around a pillar. This is the most. I love how bad players are, even at high rated. Look at this. I want to show you. So the moment everything goes off plan, look what happens. It's hilarious. So the moment they all go behind a pillar, you'd think that we could just rush in with Infernals, Blade Storm on top of them, and just keep doing damage. But you're going to see throughout this game, every time they go behind a pillar, we just stand there and we don't even push in. At this point, my log should be playing on top of them. We have Infernals up. We should be on top of them doing damage, and that's it. So right now, we have them all cornered right now. We should be pushing in on top of them right now. We're full HP. I should have big CDs. Instead, my warrior's sitting around a corner AFK. My log's pushing him. I literally say here, I'm like, bro, what is going on? And this is what I'm talking about. So we're just AFK behind a pillar. Isn't just this? I'm literally telling him to push. I'm like, bro, push in. I will literally come with you. So instead of just pushing in and literally going in and just keeping them all at half health, we sit there and let them recover. What world do we let in? Like I just don't get it. We have CDs to use. We should be in their face right now. It's literally the most obvious thing in the world. But instead, now they get to come out popping every CD on us. So we let them recover, and thankfully I'm playing a really good healer, and I know how to play it to an extent. So I end up taking him out. So this Evoker is doing pretty good damage, but you'll see whenever he's on my team, all of a sudden he forgets how he clicks his 1-2-3 macro. And you'll see here, because usually every Evoker is usually doing top damage because they're so broken and overtuned, especially Dev Evoker. They do so much damage that our comp right here should never lose to their comp. With double caster and solo shuffle, yeah, we shouldn't lose. I don't think we lose this one. We'll see though. But if this Evoker just does that damage normally, we're gonna win. Right now, I think I'm 2260. I've only played like 4 or 5 solo shovels so far. I'm like 44 wins and 20 losses or something. So our ratio is pretty good so far. So we're almost already 2400 in literally 5 solo shuffle games. Which obviously, for me, I can get 2400 on any class. I'd like to get rank 1. The problem is obviously my MMR. The moment you start doing bad, or the moment your MMR just slightly equals, because eventually your MMR stops going up. So I was at 2300 MMR, and even though I was going 5-1, I was only gaining 20s. So eventually, every time the moment I went 3-3 or anything else, my MMR just stopped going up. So now, um, I'm like 2280 rating, but then my MMR is only going to be like 2380. And then eventually, by the time I get to 2400, my MMR is going to equal out. That's the problem. And then I have to wait till next expansion, and then next season, and then it'll start out higher. That's how people get high rated. One season, you go up to about 23 or 2400, and then you'll notice the next season, that character is going to be really high MMR. Because they keep the MMR, like, let's say you hit 23 or 2400, your MMR the next season is going to be 21 through 2300 at 0 CR. That's how people are able to push rating. You wouldn't be able to get rank 1 without it. So if you're wondering how people are like getting high rated super quickly and they barely have any games, one, they're either win trading, or two, they're doing that. Because you don't lose rating, and with that much MMR gain, you're literally just gaining a unhealable amount of damage, especially when you're playing something really good, or if you're a really good player, or if you're queuing at a really good time. Just a bunch of things can, come in handy. If you don't have that MMR, I don't think I doubt there's one person in this entire, like, in this entire WoW community that's gotten rank 1 while their MMR was the same as their CR. I don't think it's possible. Like, I personally tried it, and what ends up happening is the reason Crusader and a lot of other people weren't able to get rank 1, he probably got it in solo shuffle, but I think there's one season he didn't, and that was the season where his MMR equaled out. When your MMR equals out to your rating, you're no longer able to play that character. Because you'll end up gaining 20 rating on your winning. Like, let's say you go 4-2, you only gain 20 rating, and then when you go 2-4, you'll lose 60. So you have to win 3 or 4 solo shuffles just to gain what you would lose, and that's just not going to happen. And that's on top of you going 4-2 plus every single time. So you'll see whenever you go 3-3, you'll lose MMR. So guess what? The next time after that 3-3 that you go 4-2, you're only going to gain 5 or 10 rating. And then that's how you're just not able to push on that character. So you have to keep your MMR. Even if you're not going for high rated, your main goal should simply be, okay, well, my goal is to get 2200 or 2100. Then the next season, oh, okay, my goal is to get 2300, 2400, because your MMR is going to equal out. Only play your class whenever it's the best that it can be. Unless you're playing like an enhance or something, then it's just gonna be RNG. But usually you want to play the classes when they're best in slot, and then you want to play them. That's the best chance you have, because you're just gonna get outclassed. Like in this situation, if these players were good, like let's say this warrior, wasn't sitting behind a pillar hitting, and this is what I'm not even gonna say it. So we're letting a warlock free cast while my warrior's sitting behind a pillar just hitting something. It's hilarious. And this warrior has the audacity to text me. He's like, "Bro, what are you doing?" It's crazy. It's actually crazy. So here I dispel here. I'm pushing him for CC. I think he gets full CC here. Really good for us. Now as an evoker, you have to play on top of your teammates. So if you're wondering why I'm not just humping a pillar as an evoker, you have to play super aggressive. Now if I was playing double caster cleave, then I would play behind my casters. But with this type of comp, we need to be pushing in. We need to be stunning the H-Pal and then sleeping the H-Pal off DR over and over and over. Because eventually, if we can survive until dampening, our warrior counters everything in damp. We'll automatically win the game if we just do this simple thing. Stop Chaos Bolts, stop Fears, Storm Bolt the H-Pal, sleep the H-Pal, and that's it. And then all he has to do is sharpen or do his damage, and eventually it'll be too much for the H-Pal to heal, and we'll win the game. At this point, we give him free precog, which allows him to cast 2 bolts in front of their faces. So I have to use my communion, which didn't do any healing, and they just literally melted his healing again. So, and that's the thing, giving a lock precog is the worst thing that you can do. Always hold your kick until the last second, because then they're forced to at least if you give them precog, they have to wait out the kick duration. So by the time they actually do cast, they're only getting 1 cast off. Because if you're kicking instantly, then they get that full duration before they just get a full cast. But if you wait till the last second, at least they have to cast that entire thing and then you kick. And if they get precog then at least you're still doing damage to them. So here we get another full sleep. At this point, nice, this is a really good go here. So here we get Bob, perfect. So we just need to do that every time. If I get CC on the healer without us needing a Storm Bolt, then he can Storm Bolt the DPS. However, a good H-Power is just going to LOS, and they'll never get CC'd. I actually almost missed my thing here, which is kind of good, because I got his, I stopped him from casting, but I think here he's just dead. Yeah. So here he's dead. I'm pretty much just CC'd. 1 fear pretty much is a GG's. And I get this warrior again, which I was like, bro, this warrior it's not it, bro. It's not it. And this is a good warrior lobby, because warrior warlock's actually pretty solid in solo. And then Evoker Warrior is definitely not bad. And then Rep Warrior is really good. So he has a good comp as long as he knows how to play with a certain comp. When you're playing with a caster, you have to sit outside and hit whoever he can hit. As a melee, like as what word comp is, we need to be pushing in and just going the Warlock and H-Bow. Here, we probably shouldn't win this, to be honest. Most likely, this guy actually ended up porting my dragon, which was really good by him, but whatevs. So, really, our main goal is to just kill stuff. Again, it's probably not going to matter. Double casters in solo shuffle, all that means is simply, yeah, it's unlikely for us to win this. Even as Rep Warrior, it's just unlikely. The amount of, like, if you look at the Evoker's damage, he's literally, like, imagine if he did that on my team. Instead of, like, this is what I'm talking about. Every time they're not on my team, I swear they just do unhealable damage. I'm literally getting 100 0'd behind a pillar. So they need to see, and as you can see, they're literally chasing an H-Pile around a corner. Instead of just sitting on the Evoker or sitting on the Warlock, they're literally chasing an H-Pile that's on DR stun. In what world do we let two casters free cast? I don't know. So here, these guys are literally running around the corner, so I can't even heal them. I guess they don't even... Thankfully, the Ret has a little bit of IQ, and he actually runs back to me. Otherwise, we'd be dead a long time ago. The Warrior, I don't even know what he's doing, but it's whatever. So at this point, we're kind of just dead. If he gets a bolt off, thankfully, we're kicking him, and we're actually landing the kick. Unfortunately, we kicked him on fear, so now he's able to free cast bolts. But it's whatever, and I think we give him precog there, which or I think it was an Ore Mastery. It might have been precog, I don't know. So at this point, I try to like sleep him away. I have to do it super quickly because if I do it long range, I'm gonna die before I get the cast off. So I just literally do it as fast as I can for the shield benefit. I get a big heal here. I can't get the Verdant off before because what you want to do as an Evoker is you want a Verdant and then use your big heal. I've just started like really learning that, and it's a big. I'm pretty sure it's like a big buff to your healing, and honestly. I wasn't even doing that before because I was so busy on just spamming heals that it's really just you need to be doing it. So here I try to go for the dispel. I'm literally I'm trying to. It's not healable at this point. I'm doing as much healing as possible. I'm literally on top of them so I can literally just spam heal. Because at this point, if I go to LOS, I'm gonna just have to vert it and go back. So I need to sit on top of this guy and just spam out heals. The Warrior is for some reason giving precog to the Warlock. Don't ask me why or how. So and this is a 25-50 Warrior, by the way. And look at their damage. This is what I'm talking about. And this guy has the audacity. What are you doing? They're literally doing like they're getting tripled in damage. Not only that, but they're going the wrong targets. And on top of that, they're literally giving precall off CD. And they have this guy has the audacity to say, "What are you doing?" So I farm him into the ground. He really thinks, I say, look at the healing, boy. Because I do almost triple the healing like a god among men. I outplay them in every scenario. Obviously, there's some situations I could have probably positioned better. But in general, I'm doing the best that I can possibly do. Especially since I'm doing so much overall healing. And it's so easy that we're at a rating to where I shouldn't even have to... These guys should know what we're doing at this point. At this point, I get a really good Dragon's Breath on both of them. So we get a lot of pressure out of that. At this point... I could use my Dragon's Breath or my, whatever it's called, my Fire Breath for damage. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to be very careful with my healing. Because I know these guys are going to do a lot of damage. For some reason, we're letting a Warlock free cast. Don't ask me where the Warrior is on my team. He's it's annoying me, actually. This guy's literally sitting on a H-Pal behind a pillar. Like, why be there? Or the red, I meant. You can't go healer. Listen. The only time you go healer is when he's out in the open and he's off DR. Otherwise, if he's not in a stun, don't go healer. There's no point. He's literally gonna sit there in your face and heal. That's it. Like, as our comp, we just need to we need to be hitting something 100% of the time. If you look at my Red's damage, the reason his damage is so low is because the H-Pal's running behind a pillar, and this guy is literally chasing him on his wings, instead of just doing damage to whatever he can hit. Now, at this point, we're really far behind. Somehow, I don't even know if we end up winning this, but at this point, we're so far behind that they should be able to beat us here. He Searing Glares us both, which was really good Searing Glare. This H-File, to be fair, played actually very well. Better than most I've faced. He just got unlucky facing an Evoker, because obviously, in if these guys played like a little bit better overall, I think I could have 6-0'd him, and it wasn't even his fault. He actually played really good. He had kicks, he had Hodges, he had reps, he had good healing, he had good positioning. I think he did very well for, the hand he was given. Unfortunately, there was some situations to where, like, right there getting repped is, like, really bad because he had to trinket into a full sleep. Like, that's how badly positioning can end up like ruining you, especially when you're a class that needs to be sitting back. As their comp, they need to be pushing into us. So every Hodge this guy has, he needs to push into me and Hodge me, and he can go for a rep. He doesn't really have to because they have fear, but just one CC chain, and that's really good for them because they're playing with the Destro. Like Destro needs a setup to do a bunch of damage. Obviously, if it was double caster, it's different, but at this point, um, it's a little bit different. But here I stun the warrior. You think we would get a lot of pressure off this. Again, my Evoker's doing damage. My Ret, I don't know if he's even existing at this point. And again, when they're on my team, all of a sudden they just forget like what rating we're at. So I'm literally chasing this guy behind a pillar because I'm like, okay, so we're running behind a pillar. I trinket the Hodge immediately. I have to sweep him. I'm trying to figure out who to sweep because if I sweep too early, then he's gonna die through. So at this point, I'm literally just trying to heal him through any means. I shield the bolt. At this point, I'm still trying to heal him, but it's just not enough. We have land hands. Do we click it? Probably not. So here I'm still trying to heal this guy. We bop instead of land handsing, which might have been good because I mean dampening his land hands probably is like not even a cooldown as at this dampening anyway. So actually good bop. I'll give him that. So at this point we're in trouble. Um, I don't even know how we win this. Thankfully, we go H-File when dampening's such high, and we just kill him. Imagine if we just did that damage. I laugh in this guy's face every day of the week. I don't care what anybody says toxic-wise. This guy was literally playing the worst that you could play of all time. So I'm going to talk my smack. And then after the game, he still had the audacity to text me back. He was like, even after he lost all that rating, I guarantee this guy was so salty. Don't you, if you, everybody knows how it feels because guess what? The last game before this mage literally AFK'd every round on my team, and then he lost against me. So it was the funniest thing. Actually, no, actually, I went 1 or 2 in. I think I went 1 and 5. So he went 3 times AFK on my team, or I think, no, no, yeah, I went 1 and 5 at the end of the day. He AFK'd on my team, and then I didn't stand a chance versus like only the last game I did because my teammates were like honestly, I forgot how bad solo shuffle players are. Like, it's so bad because the mage I was facing was 2300 in solo shuffle, but then like he was like 10 and 17 at 600 CR in twos. How was that even possible? Even if you have green gear on, how is that possible? So this guy was hard stock 600 CR in arena, and he was literally hiding behind a pillar. I swear to God. He was literally running behind a pillar and he was literally sitting back there for like a minute straight. I thought he was purposely trolling. He had to be. But then he would randomly do it on the other team and then randomly one shot. So I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand how people can just do the damage that they're doing when they're not on my team. And then when I get them on my team, they just don't know. They forget how to play. Like this Rep Paladin, he did the same thing again. He went H-Bow. He got his trinket. Congratulations. Once you get a cooldown, you have to swap. You can't sit on a target. Let's say a Warlock ports. Do you chase after the Warlock? No, you go to the target next to him. Because guess what? As a class that's dependent on bursts like Warrior and Ret Paladin and Evoker, or maybe not even Evoker, but just in general, you have to swap targets. It's the best thing that you can do, and you need to be doing it. Don't chase a target when you know you can't catch them. Like at this point, the Ret should be going Warrior or should be going anybody who he can hit. But thankfully, I ended up absolutely farming this guy. I literally went beast mode, literally, and I put in every ounce of energy to destroy this awful warrior. This guy really thought being a 2500 warrior in solo shuffle meant anything. That is hilarious. But we ended up farming him anyways because obviously best H-Foul in game. And I said, hey, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what class I play, boys. We're able to compete with the 2,500 players, which honestly I don't even know if that's high anymore. Because if this is the level of players, yeah, it's probably not that high. And I need a channeling a macro. So if any of you know like you know how you cancel your channel, you know how like penance and sleep. If you guys know a cancel macro that I can use, put it in the comments so I can use it. Because I want to be able to cancel my sleep mid, you know, because sometimes I'll be in hover and I can't cancel my cast and I can't fake cast, and I want to be able to do that because I like it's so obvious that I'm gonna get kicked and I can't even like I don't have a thing. So here I'm gonna just put in. I was gonna put a fire breath, but here I just healed and we end up taking him out and absolutely farming this guy to the end of the world. At this point in time, go back to 1400. Don't ever talk smack to me again, kid. I will destroy you. I will literally farm. Look at that, minus 60 rating. GG's. I took all of his rating and more. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.